This is how you guys can make your own logos for your Roblox games or anything else for free. And it's actually incredible because I've always had a hard time to find the right software that isn't so costly and doesn't cost me anything if I'm lucky. That was until I found Photopea. This is genuinely free to use and it's all based online, so you don't need to worry about downloading anything. No malware, no malicious content, and it's all just in one process, one flow. And I'm still learning how to use it still, so yeah, all the more reason to show you guys how to do it, right? Anyway, as you can see here, we're on the main page of Photopea. All you guys need to do to find this place is literally just look up photopea.com and you'll find where you need to be. And the first thing you want to do when you get here is you don't actually need any sort of elements to start off. You don't need any files, you don't need any references unless that's something you guys want to do. It's a choice. But we're going to make something entirely from scratch, and we're going to pick the Instagram aspect ratio 180 to 180p, which is just a logo sort of canvas I like to use for shaping. And we're going to go straight into it. Some people use landscape, some people use vertical canvases. It's really up to you at the end of the day. I like to use things like that have perfect dimensions, like a square. And as you can see right here, we've opened up the page. We're about to start our work and it looks mildly complicated, and I'm going to be quite frank with you, it is somewhat complicated at first, but I'm here to break it down for you. First things first, you're going to go down in the corner where it says type tool. You're going to press T and you're going to create your text boundary just like that you would in any other sort of program, and you're going to write what you want. And what am I going to write? I haven't actually thought about that. I'm going to write Karma and then King underneath. Yeah, just like that. And you can see the text is quite small, so what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all of that and we're going to resize that text, and that's pretty straightforward. You don't need to be a genius to figure out how to do that. And in fact, I'm going to actually make it bigger. We'll do 300. There we go. I didn't mess up anything, thank goodness. Okay, we're going to move this up just a tad, making sure that we have everything where it needs to be, and I quite like it where it is at the moment. So as you can see, it's just a pretty generic basic text. I'm going to center everything using the alignment tool as you would in any other sort of program as per usual. You're going to want to go over to this area and you want to go and click on character. So when you're in character, you want to pick whatever font you want, and I've actually already picked out my font. But if you go over here, you can figure out what font you want. There's multiple different previews. You can choose as you go. I use Lapsus Pro. That's just one of my favorite fonts I like using when it comes to stuff. It's quirky, it's cool, it's cartoonish, it's comic style, and I quite like that, and it brings my attention to it a lot more than others. So here we go. We're gonna have to you're gonna have to use the character section a lot when it comes to this stuff. What you want to do next is you want to go over to where it says leading and you're gonna want to have to, yeah, this is where it gets kind of confusing. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to manipulate it to do what we want instead of it doing what it wants. So I think that looks quite fine, actually. I think I'll give it a little bit more space. That's not what I meant to do. There we go. 215 pixels. Are pretty aligned. I think it looks quite fine, to be honest. And I think we're actually done with the first process already. It's quite simple. It's just as easy as that. I didn't mean to make that. Delete, get out of here, be gone. All right, so you want to lock this layer and then you want to rasterize. So what you want to do is, I hope I said that right, right click on the layer over here where it says Karma Kings or whatever you guys are picking, and you want to click on rasterize. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. If not, it's just been butchered. Next thing you want to do is, after you've rasterized it, you want to go over to layer, which is in the top corner. You do layer style, and then you just do blending options. All right, now this is where the magic happens, folks. This is where all of the magic happens. First thing you want to do is you want to color your stuff. So I'm going to probably pick a different color for it. Maybe we'll go red. No, we'll go purple. Obviously purple. That's the color of our community. Now you can do that, right? But now that I think about it, I think I don't want to do that. I want to do gradients. Gradient is just as easy as doing the color, except you have to pick multiple colors to blend. And so if you can see right here, you get options, default options. You can do all of those if you'd like, but that's not what I'm going to do. Instead, I'm going to make my own gradient. I'm going to add an extra, or not. Maybe I was lying. I was lying, guys. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have lied. Next thing you're going to do is you want to go over here, and you've got your second gradient. Not too different. We'll leave it at that. I'm going to go okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick bevel and emboss. I think that's how you say it. I'm not even sure. Again, there you go. Already we're starting to form a very three-dimensional shape. Very small, but definitely three-dimensional. You could do contour if you like. It just makes those edges a little more definite. And the next thing we're going to do is just click on 3D, just like that. It looks a bit wonky and awkward at first, but you can just do this. No, I did it wrong. I did a bad thing, guys. I'm sorry. You click on 3D, you angle things the way you want it to be, and then you want to change that color to something that's a purple-like shadow. That's already something. You could do something with that, right? But if you want to be a little bit more crafty, we should add some texture to it to bring out that vibrance. So if you click on texture, as you can already see, we've put a texture on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change that texture. I'm not a big fan of it. It gives you a selection of different textures to choose from. I'm going to go with this texture. It's the third option. It's not really that easy to see, but nonetheless, it is a texture. And what you can do to make it more visible is you can actually give it more depth. And if you guys haven't noticed, it's already become more prominent. The next thing you want to do is, if you want to make those textures stand out a little bit more, you can scale them. However, I think I'm going to have it just a little less prominent than the actual text itself. And drop shadow, that's also a choice. And drop shadow is actually quite unique. I think it's a cool thing to use if you're using it for specific projects, like just a plain white canvas. You want to make a drop shadow. It's good so that it looks like that it's actually standing out, and it has got a background with some light shining on it, which is creating that shadow effect. But nonetheless, we have, my friends, created a logo. And it's just as easy as everything I've taught you inside of this video. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than this, but it really wasn't that difficult. It was quite easy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys did learn something. If you did, let me know in the comments. Don't ever see the negative side of your work. See your work as something positive, and if you keep on doing that, then you're going to enjoy the work you're doing every time you do something on the canvas. So it has been your boy Karma CEO. Hope you guys have an amazing time, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.